Hey everybody, and welcome to the Octagon Open Tournament. This is the second time around, so we've already had one tournament. It was quite a success with a lot of entrants, and this is the second game of the first round. This is still the Swiss round, so there will be a bunch of Swiss rounds. Lucas will correct me if I'm wrong, but we're something like 5 or 6 Swiss rounds. Is that true?
We're doing 6. We capped it at 64 players. For those who didn't watch the first video, go watch that because we'll do a lot more information on that. But yeah, 64 players, 6 rounds, top 8 cut with over 100 quid prize sport, which I'm happy about. I won't go into too much detail with the first game, just because I don't want to spoil anything. But at the moment, we've got Michael Chung, who I believe topped 4 the last one.
Yeah, he played really well last tournament.
Yes. From what I gathered, he lost to a couple of powerful EX bursts, was it?
Yeah, well, I think the games were good overall. There were certain irregularities here and there, but he played really well last tournament. I totally expected to see him in the finals when I first checked the Swiss.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
Brian was constantly badgering me, saying if I win this, I want to go up against Michael in the finals.
Definitely.
Which when it got paired up, I was like, oh my god, it's going to happen because they were opposite each other in the brackets.
Yeah, Michael played well in, for example, Mana League tournaments and such. So he's played pretty well.
Yeah.
I don't know much about his opponent though. His opponent is Vinh on the top side.
What I gathered, he's very new to the group. I don't know if he knows. I don't know if he's a well-known player in his country.
Fair enough.
Foreign, but again, upsets can happen. So
definitely.
Get to it. I'll inform the players that they can go. Yeah,
notify the players, and we'll get going. So this is still Octagon. Virtual cards is not meant to replace the cards. So this time around, we'll see some really nice Opus 2 decks, and I'm expecting to see more of these monocolored decks that we've heard a lot about. But I'll also expect to see some really crazy anti-meta kind of decks, since there are so many lightning and fire decks. I'm expecting to see Minwoos everywhere, and evasive cards like Saidane and Kuja, for example, that can't really be targeted effectively. I'm expecting something like that.
Reading the Japanese reports, mono fire seems to be decimating the entire country.
But on the other hand, fire doesn't really need to be run at mono, because only really Sande and Red requires a lot of fire CP, and that can be generated by running primarily fire, so I'm expecting to see a lot of like anti-meta techs and splashes from another color, like a little bit of lightning or maybe a little bit of water for the Minwoo, for example, something like that.
So we got Michael going first, choosing to take a mulligan.
Yep.
Yeah. From what I gathered, Earth seems to be, if you're mixing colors, Earth seems to be the go-to color.
Yeah, definitely. Earth is such a good backup color. Hecaton Share for backup break and power distribution.
I'm currently playing Water Earth. The Cecil Vincent combo is just absolutely absurd.
Yeah, definitely. I think even just Minwoo and Vincent makes for such a ridiculously durable card.
Alright, so Vinh. By the way, we don't actually know how to pronounce your name, so we're calling you Vinh. If by any chance you take offense to that or you're just pronouncing it wrong, please let us know and we will rectify that.
Yeah, and accept any type of punishment that seems reasonable.
Yep. Alright, so we see a monk hitting the field.
A very standard play.
Yep.
So,
double
monks. So this might be a monk deck. Could it be Mono Earth?
Or I went up against that at locals last week and it was absolutely nasty.
Yeah, it certainly is. Mono Earth is extremely powerful, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a second color, because there are so many interesting techs that you could get from other colors that Earth kind of lacks.
Yeah. Like,
so that would be interesting.
Is it Ignis?
Yeah, Ignis, for example.
A backup is just absolutely obscene.
Yeah, that is fantastic.
So we see Rain getting discarded for the 2-drop Tifa.
That could be... Oh, we see Earth, Fire on the top side.
That's going to be nasty.
Yeah, it's Earth and Fire off the top side, so that's going to be interesting. I'm expecting to see Tifa and Vincent, I'm assuming.
Ooh, 6 drops, so this is going to be 6-drop Cloud? Okay.
Wow, that's an aggressive start. That's a very aggressive start indeed.
Since he's also discarded 6 CP.
Yeah, definitely. Since he discarded so many cards, it might be that he is having Cloud on hand, for example, or similar.
I'm not sure, but I wouldn't agree. I wouldn't say play the Cloud if you've got the Tifa. You'd swing with the Tifa first, then play the Cloud.
Yeah, definitely. There is that as well. On the other hand, the only EX burst that Earth could deliver would be Roban, and since there's no Roban target, it's probably no big deal. There's no EX burst that would kill him. But on the other hand, it's a little bit expensive. Okay, I see what you meant. There's a little bit of discussion going on in the chat as usual, trying to figure out, since Octagon is a little bit clunky sometimes, trying to figure out what paid for what, for example. So 4 CP for Cloud and 2 for a backup, that should be in order.
Yeah, I don't think he realises that CP doesn't carry over.
Didn't he discard 6 CP anyway, so he should be fine?
Well, yeah, I think he's trying. I don't know what he's doing.
Could you check the chat? He discarded 6 CP and played 2 cards. That is correct, right?
Oh god. Yeah, so he discarded a Golem, the 6-drop Cloud, and a Jessie.
You can just state that as long as the colors were okay, we'll have to keep going, since it doesn't really change the game. This is not exactly an irreversible game state or anything. He was a little bit clumsy with declaration and payment, that's all. In Octagon you're supposed to discard for CP first and then play the card. Can you type in chat?
Yep.
I think... so he wanted to discard...
So he wants to play the backup.
Okay. Alright, I would say allow it this time.
I would assume that he's trying to play Jessie.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm going to just probably cut this portion out, as I'm sort of wondering what's happening.
Alright.
I say yes. Yes, it's okay. Try to be clear in the future or something.
Yeah.
Just like a warning.
Okay, so yeah, he's giving the Sage haste, giving the Cloud haste. So he's getting 2 points of damage on.
So from 7 cards, he actually managed to play those 2 cards and the Sage.
Very, very aggressive, but it's also left him with no hand.
Yeah, definitely. Dealing 2 damage is fine though, since he doesn't have a Cloud on hand now, he's not gonna be able to start Omni-slashing, so maybe it would be wiser to just play the Cloud and then sort of save the Cloud for next round, maybe?
So we see a Dark Knight and a Titan getting milled for damage. In all honesty, that Cloud isn't going to be a threat. He's got no backups, no hands.
And he's got to be top decking as well, so all Michael needs to do at the moment is play an 8k character and a Raban, for example. That would be a fantastic play. On the other hand though, a small drop and Cloud can't really effectively deal with it. There could just be a block and Golem or similar, or block and Monk. We see a lot of ways of doing it. Yeah, Michael is polite as usual. Very nice. It's important that you're always clear with your intent and declarations, because it can get a little bit tricky when it's not real cards. You can't see what the opponent is like looking at, physically doing and similar. You can't see body language or anything, so it's a little bit hard to convey what your intent is.
Yeah, it's always a bit tricky as well when you're doing with manual simulations.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're not used to it and you're then kind of put under a bit of pressure, it doesn't help.
Oh, Shantoro! That is a fantastic play. Wow, ouch. Poor Opus. Vin's hand is empty. And Michael is at 3 backups.
Michael's hand is empty as well.
Yeah, but he's at 3 backups. That's a card per turn in advantage. That's a full card per turn in pure advantage. That is a very nice play.
gonna be painful. And the fact that Shantotto then opens the gates for any kind of color as well.
And since he only draw 2 cards and have a single resource on the field as like a backup, he was not able to play any cards at all this turn. So that is really unfortunate. While Michael probably will.
Oh.
What is he playing?
3 CP, discards Gabron.
5.
I don't think he could do anything. I hear error message. Oh, okay. Is the Shantotto not being doled for another color?
Yeah, I'm assuming so. Let's see what he plays. He can play any color with Shantotto anyway, so it's 5 stupid game. Yeah, the cloud.
Okay.
Sorry, the game didn't understand that Gabranth is only costing 5 at this point.
Yes.
So that's why it took a little while to get it to the field, but that's fine. It's a very cheap play, 5 cost and a pretty big card already. And Michael's already trying to set up that Earth field and at 6 damage be completely obnoxious with everything having Brave. Gabranth is a fantastic card, to be honest, and Earth is really difficult to deal with.
It's the fact that he discarded another Gabranth as well to play it.
Yeah. On the other hand though, I still don't really see the need to play Earth as a monocolor. I understand that the Gabranth is buffing Earth cards, and Rydia, for example, could pick up cards, but summons or backups could potentially be of another color. So I would probably take something like Yuna Hero and Minwoo, for example, as a backup lineup, just to be able to have that near immortal power. And it's such a good counter against both fire and lightning, in my opinion. It's not a complete counter, but it makes it much more difficult.
Yeah. So Vinh plays a Barret. If you're Michael, you would just... Okay, so he's going in for the attack.
Yeah, let's hope there's no Golem. I hope he's only have 2 cards in hand.
Therapy.
Is he triggering the X Burst?
That I feel like if Vinh uses the Seraphie, that's going to give Michael more of an advantage.
Yeah, on the other hand though, he really needs to get like his economy going, so maybe going for it is the right move anyway. Really difficult to see, because if his hand is near empty and he can't really play any cards, maybe going to draw that extra forward is really gonna help him. I mean, he gets a cloud back in hand, and that's also always valuable. On the other hand though, he needs to pitch his entire hand once again to play to the field, and he'd be stuck with a single backup. It's
the fact that the cloud wouldn't be able to contest the Gabranth Fever.
Indeed.
Not using the Seraphie.
Yeah, on the other hand though, he can just wait for top decking with Cloud and just deal with Gabranth at that point. Should be alright. On the other hand though, I'm expecting another 2 Titans in Michael's deck, or at least the 1.
So I would expect Vinh just to attack with the Barret, just to get an easy point of damage in, and then play something.
Definitely.
Like Gabranth is staying there, it's just going straight to battle.
I'm expecting Michael is just waiting for a Roban play, and then dealing with the next big card coming out from Vinh. He's not gonna have to deal with Barret yet, because soon Michael's field is set.
I mean, the fact that it's going to be 3 damage to 1, I feel like Michael will eventually win. Oh, responding.
Yeah, what is he responding? Is it Scarmiglione and Golem or something? Yeah, see a Scarmiglione. Is it gonna be Monk as well? Yeah, it's Monk.
Yeah, he would block the Monk and then give it power and break both.
Scarmiglione is such a fantastic card. You can play it at any point in time, so it can just bounce down and deal with any attacker. I think it's a fantastic card.
Block with the Monk.
Yep. So the Monk goes to the discard, losing a little bit of his advantage, but on the other hand, wiping his opponent's board down to 0 once again. Very nice play by Michael. Both players down to near 0. Oh, we see a Golem. Michael don't have any cards to respond to that. That is a nice play by Vinh. Very good indeed, saving his Barret as well as breaking the Scarmiglione which appeared. That was expensive, hurting Michael's economy and losing some cards off Michael's hand. Very nice indeed.
Still can't help but feel that Vinh is going to be in a bit of a losing position.
Yeah, he is. I mean, if they both were at equal economy and hand size, that would have been a fantastic play by Vinh. It would be like near game breaking, but since Vinh was so far behind, that barely put them back to equal.
There we go. So we got a 5k Dark Knight. The 4-drop Tifa was milled on the damage, which is a very good card, I feel.
Yeah, it doesn't really deal with the Earth cards enough, though, unfortunately.
No.
Since there is power distribution, 6k is just not going to be enough.
So Michael's just going to take the damage off the monk.
Yeah.
The
Dark Knight just grows in power. Michael is just waiting for that
exactly.
6 point of damage. He's basically preparing his field for that point. Really frustrating.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he then sees like the Opus 2 Dark Knight as well.
Yeah, it is likely. I'm not sure we're gonna see that Dark Knight. It is a decent card though, so I'm expecting like maybe 1, maybe 2.
5 CP.
Mustadio, that is a really nice play.
That's
and
brutal.
Michael can't even afford something like a Titan, so that's a very safe Mustadio indeed.
Yeah,
very good play by Vinh.
It's very brutal. However, back to 1 in hand with now 3. Though I would say they're on about equal.
Yeah, definitely.
Dark Knight's going to swing here.
Yeah, the Dark Knight will definitely go for damage, and I'm expecting Michael to attempt to play another forward, since he doesn't really mind taking damage. I think Michael would just keep taking damage if risking it.
Shantoto getting put into the damage zone as well.
And not very impactful at this point, since none of the players would want it.
Vincent.
Oh, Vincent! That is a fantastic play. Vincent is a great play by Michael, since if Vinh now would play either Tifa or Cloud, Michael could just go for the board clear with a death penalty immediately.
Oh, yeah.
So I think Vinh would like to play a 5-drop at this point, since then he can only deal with 1 of the drops with a death penalty and go a little bit loss if he goes for it.
Alright, so Barrett's going in for an attack.
Yeah.
I can't help but feel there's got to be a battle trick here.
Yeah, I'm assuming so. Is there going to be a golem?
He's already discarded 2. He's used 2, so if he's got the third
Could
one,
be a Barrett special. No. Is it Belias? No. Yeah, it is Belias.
Oh.
Very nice. Very nice indeed. That is gonna hurt Michael so much. I would have just taken the damage if I was Michael, because it's risky facing someone with so many combat tricks. Is he losing his Vincent? That is terrible. Yeah, he doesn't have any tricks at all. That is really unfortunate. I think Michael should have stayed on the defensive there, taking the damage and letting the Onion Knight grow. The Onion Knight is like a plant, you sort of have to tend it to get it growing, and taking the damage is not really a problem, and you always have a shot of, triggering an EX burst, for example, so I definitely would have taken the damage instead at that point, especially since there are Golems and Belias in that deck. There are so many combat tricks. It's a little bit risky by Michael there. Maybe the right move, since there have been so many.
Tell Vinh that you have to actually manually draw the card off the Belias play.
Yeah, definitely.
Because unfortunately the game doesn't actually see that you're playing Belias, it just sees that you're playing a card.
Yeah, but that is good though, because sometimes, for example, the Belias can fizzle and not work. For example, if the target is gone, you're not allowed to draw, so it is important that it doesn't just work automatically, but the players resolve it, the stack in order. So everything in this game isn't like automatic, you have to resolve it manually.
Alright, so curious thing to note, they're equal on damage. Now, Michael's going to be back winning the damage race.
Yeah, at the moment though. But we're looking at an Onion Knight that will just keep growing for one thing. And if Michael had Vincent still, it would have been great. Yeah, sorry, Dark Knight.
Yeah, the Dark Knight is just going to get more powerful. With 3 in hand as well. It'd be interesting to see what he plays. I can't help but feel like he would just swing, because then next time that Dark Knight's going to be 7k and just block.
Indeed. And the question is, since we're seeing a triple Monk, I think, in Michael's deck, he's probably running Young in the 2 cost.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't surprise. I think if it is Monitor, Young is played straight off the bat.
And I'm expecting Giphal, Gabranth, Vincent, I'm not sure what other cards, maybe a normal Monk or 2 just to make sure Young has some sort of synergy.
Yeah, Yeah, if you're playing this kind of Mono Earth deck, you play Yang, you play with monks, and you play Enacro, just because then Yang
yeah, definitely.
is brave straight off the bat.
And 8k, that is very good. Yang is one of the best cards at the moment.
Yeah, I think if you've got a monk and Enacro, he's 10k straight off the bat. Oh.
Yeah. And monk,
so
and Mono Earth usually play like 4 monk backup, maybe 5, just to make sure you always have a monk on the field to boost that Yang a little bit higher.
Oh yeah.
And they are 2 cost as well, it's really powerful.
Alright, so
do you see a golem here?
It would have to be a golem.
He could use his monk, but that's really expensive. He don't really want to go lower on cards. He can't keep losing resources. I would just take damage because that's how Dark Knight becomes stronger.
But even if Vinh has the Belias, the Golem's going to be on 4k.
Yeah.
So the Dark Knight's just going to instantly power over the Belias.
Yeah, definitely. But on the other hand, the idea here is that blocking and sometimes you take like a risk. I would just slowly take the damage in a stable manner and just be fine with that. There could be a burn, for example, from the fire player, and the Dark Knight would be gone. Sometimes it's just better taking the damage. Especially in the Earth deck that is based on taking damage, you want to reach 6 at some point. Or maybe Michael have the Fusoya in his deck, and that's why he wants to save damage, so he can deal it with Fusoya instead. Maybe that could be the reason.
So he's Sangang hitting the field.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he'd have to be searching the 4-drop Tifa.
Yeah, no doubt. The starter Tifa is definitely the best one. He can instantly deal with the Dark Knight as well.
Yeah, because the 2-drop just wouldn't pose a threat. And the fact that, well, I'm saying that actually, he's lost 2 Tifas already. We don't know how many he plays. So, he's got the legendary.
Let's see if I can zoom this back in on center again. They keep placing cards outside of the field.
Yeah. Alright, so we got the 5-drop Tifa. So when Tifa attacks, choose one forward. It can't block this turn. And bounce 5, ditch Tifa, 3 fire CP. All forwards of cost 3 or less cannot block this turn. So unless Michael gets a forward on another forward on the field, that Tifa is going to be putting in damage.
Yeah, definitely. Though for Earth, for example, I don't think 9k forwards that are expensive are very good cards because it's so easy to block them and overpower them as well. On the other hand, both players have the option of distributing power to where it's needed, so it's going to be really interesting to see.
But Bahamut goes to the damage. So with 4 in hand, Michael needs to play another forward here.
Yeah, definitely looks like, and as he's expecting that Tifa to enter the field, he definitely wants another forward or 2 already. Machinist.
The Machinist.
Yeah, the Machinist can't really deal with Tifa, but it's a 2-cost backup, so it's not a problem at all.
I do like Machinist actually. It's a very people complain it's overcosted, but I feel like it does the job correctly.
Yeah, and in the end game, it's really important to have backups that can remove themselves. And sometimes you need that all-in gambit, and for Machinist that's fine. You basically have an Odin prepared. Even if you have cards discarded off your hand, for example, you at least always have that Odin prepared.
Yeah, and it's the fact as well that early on Machinist was just going to gain you so much more advantage than its cost.
Yeah, I think so. As it only costs 2, it's very flexible. When you pay 2 for a backup, you don't expect it to do a whole lot. But Machinist definitely does because it's a threat for the entire game, so that's fine in my opinion.
Alright, so just having to tell Vinh that the 5-drop Tifa doesn't actually have haste. Zangan gives it to 4 or less.
Yeah, this is true. If you need, you can type that, but I think the players will resolve it by themselves.
I've already said he can't attack.
It's just people usually don't really consider that because the legendary Tifa is kind of new, and for some reason it's really strange. That Zangan says that a Tifa of cost 4 and lower gets haste. The 2 costs already have haste, and the 5 cost was added after, so that's really strange. But they knew this was coming.
I could do it like a free cost or something, but I feel like if you were able to have the 5-drop that have haste, that would be a bit too much.
Yeah, definitely. I think with
Sorry.
Yeah, I think with the release of the new FF7, the remake, I think we're gonna see a lot more Tifas as well, so it might be relevant.
Yeah. Well, it was the fact as well is if the Tifa had haste and you had a couple of other forwards as well, being able to use Falcon Dive to make all your opponents like 3 drops or less unblockable, and then Tifa,
Yeah,
that makes
definitely. It would be.
like your only high blocker unable to block. That's just insane.
Yeah, but you can still play a Sage after or Belias, for example, if that's needed. So, but it costs a lot more then.
Oh, yeah, you think you're having to generate 7 CP, which can be easily done, but
yeah, it's for the cost of a Bahamut. Basically, you can pay Tifa and the Sage. For a little bit more of a Bahamut, you can actually activate her special as well.
Oh, we see
Vincent again. With Vincent, I think it's really interesting here, because when you play a 5 cost to the field, you always have the option of playing, for example, another 4 or 3 cost, because Vincent can go to break both. But if Vin here goes and play a 2 cost, for example, he can lose his entire field in a single death penalty, and that's really frustrating. So you really have to work on that math just a little bit before playing a card. Always a threat.
So I felt if Tifa's just going to attack, you'd let the attack go through just because your Dark Knight's going to get stronger, and it's not really going to be
I just take damage. It's
Take
always
damage.
a risk taking damage, so it's always scary. You can just take a damage as Michael, it's not a problem.
The only downside with Mono Earth is your EX bursts aren't that great unless you hit that new backup. Oh, sweet Jesus.
Yeah, Robon is so damn good. It's one of the finer points of Earth.
The only issue here is the Vincent is weaker.
Yeah, definitely. So at the moment, the Raban would be a dead card.
So
just at this point.
Another Opus 2 monk going to the damage. So they're both still on 4 damage now, so they're still equal. So main phase 2. Seeing Vin.
It's going to be a 3 cost? Is it Lan or something? No.
Oh, another Barret.
Another Barret. I'm surprised. Barret isn't that bad though. He's sort of like a Terra. He can become a pretty big bloke when he blocks. So that's fine. I'm not overly excited about Barret, but he is kind of fine. And if you run some sort of 7 synergy, he's kind of okay with Barret, as every sort of dupe you draw actually does something. So I think it's a 3k burn and he gets 3k or something. Is that correct?
So yeah, Hammer Blow, you discard a named Barret and 2 Earth CP. You choose a forward, deal it 4,000 damage, and Barret gains 4,000 until the end of the turn.
Yeah, definitely. Alright, yeah, that is pretty okay. It's basically like you get a free Ifrit and a power boost. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
And if you play some sort of 7 tribal, that should be quite alright.
Alright, so we see 4 CP. There's the Ralban.
Interesting. Yeah, he was waiting for that. He's probably been sitting with it for a while, but not having a target.
Yeah, so that Barret's going to get broken.
I mean, Opus... Yeah. Vin has 5 cards in hand though, that's surprising.
5 in hand and no backups, and yeah, he's just going to eat 2 damage here.
Yeah, definitely.
Unless he wants to keep the...
Unless he has the Skarmiglion and Golem combo.
So there's a 3-drop Vincent.
Yep, Vincent into Breakdown, so no promo Vincent in Opus 1 to 3 stack? Or
maybe
Vin
not.
Stack?
Oh, a Brynhilda.
Interesting. So that probably deals with the Dark Knight straight away then.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
That's a little bit unfortunate. However, Vin is now on 6 damage.
Yeah, definitely.
So it'll be interesting to see how Michael deals with that.
Yeah, he can't really swing with the Tifa this turn. He's gonna have to block, unfortunately, and that's not in a position where you want to be, where he knows that his opponent has at least Monk, maybe Golem in hand.
Yeah, you'd have to keep the Tifa blocking as a 9-drop at least.
Yeah, fortunately, like Golem is a better defensive card, so he's gonna have the advantage in that aspect at the very least.
So we just have to see how Vin copes with
Sunken Mustadio is a 4 cost? No, it's a 2 cost Cloud.
So
I'm assuming he was going to play a bigger card. There could be a death penalty just wiping the entire field of Vinh here. Next turn. I probably... Oh,
okay,
haste. Interesting.
Not too bad.
So he's gonna swing for damage and keep Tifa up, I'm assuming?
Oh yeah, I would assume so. He's just trying to force the damage.
Yeah, definitely. He really has to, because his back is against the wall at this point.
However, Vinh with 4 in hand with 1 backup, if he gets hit with a death penalty next turn...
Yeah.
Or even getting hit by another Raban.
Yep.
Is it Raban?
Roba? I really don't know. We're probably butchering that name as well. It's
Let's
very
have a
difficult
monk.
to see.
So that's 3 monks off the damage.
Yeah. you already have a monk though, so if he gets young, he's fine. It's not a terribly good card, and I'm assuming the 5th spot in the backup line of Michael is still gonna be an N cross anyway, so...
Alright, so we've got 3 CP being paid.
Jesse, fair enough.
What would you get here?
Well, he's probably just playing it as pseudo 1 cost card.
Yeah.
Since he can't really use the Mustadio anyway, so he basically got rid of the Mustadio to find something like a Tifa. Maybe
I would assume he would
food.
get the last Barrett, because then if he's got...
Yeah,
if we have 3
maybe.
in hand, so maybe he's just trying to boost up.
Yeah, that would make more sense.
Bolster his lineup. Yeah, so that's the 2-drop Barrett.
Mm-hmm.
So grenade bomb is deals 2k to all the forward your opponent controls. So yeah, he must just be trying to load up his forward lineup.
Mm-hmm. So we see Barrett here. Yeah,
he
fair
just
enough.
goes to get pull.
Yeah, then what he could be doing then, I'm assuming, is that Vincent can't really attack. Vincent is gonna have to be forced to pass. Oh, interesting. Scarmiglione at the end of his opponent's turn? No? No.
Yeah, so he's doing that in the main phase 2.
Yeah, I'm assuming that as well.
Yeah, he said it in chat.
Yeah, exactly.
So he can get the attack in.
Exactly.
He must be, yeah. Oh, I've just had a dirty thought. Is the fact that Tifa and Barrett are active. They're 7.
Yeah, and Scarmiglione for a damage. That is possible. I think
that's what he's going for.
That is possible. Let's see how many CP. Yeah, it's 5 CP.
5, yeah.
Vincent. Oh, that's a true death penalty.
Definitely
that is a fantastic play. And Scarmiglione on the end of his opponent's second main phase is a fantastic play.
That's filthy.
Yeah, that is a fantastic way for Michael to finish his first game. Very nice play. Very, very nice play by Michael indeed. Yeah, I'm a little bit impressed. I'm a little bit impressed indeed. That was very, very nice. In the next round.
that was impressive. That Vincent.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. That just goes to show how strong Vincent can be. His spell is expensive. His ability is super expensive, but he can just turn the entire game around in one blow. There's a reason it's called death penalty, I suppose. That was a good game though. It looked really close in the beginning, and it looked like Vinh was coming back from that, but then Michael ended it with a really, really impressive play there. But that was it for this second game of the first round of Swiss, and there's gonna be a fair few more to see. So we really hope you tune in for the next one.
Yeah, we'll be hopefully it'll be round 2 when we next come back. So keep in mind, we've already got our picks. If they do well, if not, we'll have to go back to the drawing board on that.
Yeah. So that's it for now, and have a good time for now. Bye.
Bye.